XFM News on point.
It's time for the news on XFM. I'm Chris Tim. The Uganda National Examinations Board, UNEB, has warned schools to avoid hiking registration fees for students in candidate classes when schools resume. The registration of all candidate classes will start from the 22nd of October to the 20th of November, and it will be done via a manual process and via online. According to UNEB Secretary General Dan Odon, registration fees for primary leaving exams will be at 34,000 Uganda shillings, 164,000 shillings for the Uganda Certificate of Education, and the Uganda Advanced Certificate of Education. They will pay 186,000 shillings. Odom has appealed to schools to avoid imposing unnecessary charges that could make it difficult for parents to pay the registration fees.
We shall be appealing not to impose some of those unnecessary charges that they used to put in, like money for mock exams, because this time there will be no time for mock. So that kind of money should not be imposed on parents. But of course, for the learners who are on the universal program, universal education program, the UPE, USE, UPOLET, those will have their fees paid by government. It is only those that are not on the universal program that will have to pay fees. But we shall be appealing to schools not to impose any other charges which make it difficult for those who have to pay exam fees to do so.
Experts have warned that Uganda's chances of producing and exporting oil are still a myth, despite being the first country to discover oil in the Eastern Africa region. Uganda's first oil deposits were seen in June of 2006, when the three oil fields of Weraga 1, Weraga 2, and Imputa showed signs of starched oil deposits, but no single oil drop has been realized. Makerere University lecturer, who also doubles as the development policy researcher, Fred Muhumuza, says the government had promised delivering its first oil export in 2022. A lot needs to be done that requires more than 5 years.
The president has just been in Tanzania. They signed an agreement. We still have to finalize the host country agreement. We still have to finalize the final investment decision, which will now allow the investors to go and begin engaging their funders. Now, when all those things will be finished, we do not know, because they have already dragged for more than 3 or 4 years, which is a concern to us. We don't know how much time is left. But even after doing all those, we still haven't completed the required infrastructure that is needed in terms of roads, in terms of bridges, to get the oil out of the ground if you're talking about oil.
Muhumuza also warns government to avoid incurring huge debts on oil that could take years to be serviced.
We have borrowed heavily, especially during this experience of COVID. And how best are we going to pay back all this money? With our coffee not coming through, with a lot of things not coming through, when people are demanding money from you, you can only use your minerals. But even we have agreements of borrowings that were actually directly related to we are going to have oil. We borrowed heavily to build oil roads on the assumption that the oil will eventually repay those. So once you have borrowed, you must use your own resources to pay back those loans. So in that sense, you can only see that Uganda's debt where it is today, some of these minerals, even when the money comes out of them, will definitely go into debt servicing. Because if you don't clear your debts, you have bigger problems.
NRM's Electoral Commission will today conduct the election of the party's flag bearer for Chigulu South. The Electoral Commission suspended the polling in this county on the 4th of September following the death of one of the candidates, Stephen Wako, who was involved in an accident a day before. 4 candidates are in the race, who include Andrew Kiza, Melton Muuma, Patrick Kayemba, and Luke Chisubi. The chairman of the NRM's Electoral Commission, Dr. Tanga Odoi, has asked the electorates in Chigulu South to avoid indulging in any form of violence.
We shall have elections of Chigulu South on 25th. That election will be by lining up. That election is to come up against a backdrop of the death of our own, Wako. It will be by lining up. All candidates were met yesterday and briefed on what we should do. High-level mannerism, or else a candidate will be disqualified even before tally.
In world news, high-ranking Vatican official Cardinal Giovanni Angelo Becciu has unexpectedly resigned from office, the Holy See has announced. He previously worked as the second most senior official in the Vatican Secretariat of State. Cardinal Becciu became involved in a controversial deal to buy a luxury London building with church funds as an investment. The deal has since been the subject of a financial investigation. He denies any wrongdoing, though. Now in sports, the Los Angeles Lakers moved to within one win of the NBA Finals with a 114-108 victory over the Denver Nuggets in Game 4 of the Western Conference Finals in Orlando. Anthony Davis scored a game-high 34 points, while LeBron James added 26 plus 9 rebounds and 8 assists. Jamal Murray top scored for the Nuggets with 32 points, but missed all of his 3-point efforts. The Lakers lead the best of the 7 series 3-1 with Game 5 on Saturday night. That's the latest XFM News.
XFM News on point.